Oh, hey y'all. Listen, I've been away for a couple of days, but now I'm back. And actually I'm going away again on this upcoming Sunday. But I'm here for a minute now, and I decided let me pop in here and talk to y'all real quick. Okay, it's late. So it's gonna be an express train ride. Let the people know Diva in the building for a hot second, okay? Doing trending topics. Listen, while I was gone, a lot happened. A lot happened. Um, I'll start out by saying that this title is called Sad Times. We're doing a quick check-in, okay? Sad Times. I did this Diddy case is getting sadder and sadder and sadder by the minute. He is trying to go up for a third time to get bail, and this I'm gonna say I highly doubt. I highly doubt that he's going to get it. It's too much going on now. If it, and he hired some new lawyers too, right? So, but I think if he get it, it'll be a miracle. It'll be an absolute miracle. But I think with all of these lawsuits mounting against him, I highly doubt that they're going to grant him bail. And thank you guys. I'm glad to see y'all out there. So this new lawyer, what is his name? Tony Busby. Is representing 120 clients, and a good portion of them are said to have been minors at the time that they were violated by Diddy's and others. What I do like about this particular lawyer is he's saying that, you know, other people were involved in some of these situations, and he said they're big names. He's vetting it out, and those names, those people will be named. And he said it's going to be shocking when we hear some of these names. And I said this often over here that other people were involved, and those other people need to go down too. Now, the heartbreaking thing for me with this particular lawyer, they said one was as young as 9 years old when he was violated by Diddy and others. And I just can't even wrap my mind around that. I just cannot wrap my mind around who will violate a child at 9. I mean, don't get me wrong. Of course, we heard it has happened before, but is this man this sick? And are there some other sick individuals out there that will violate a 9-year-old? And somebody tell me, please, somebody look up for me. Does that Bad Boys studio or Puff Daddy studio still exist in New York? I'm gonna have to Google that. That thing, that did they get any, if there's any evidence in there that they could possibly give if it still exists? After that, they need to burn that studio down. Too much bad things allegedly happened in that studio. They need to burn it down to the ground. It's just horrific. It's horrible. And listen, I want to say this also, and this is not a victim shaming or parent shaming or anything, but I need to put this message out there because I'm guessing that come on, Felicia, light it up. It's too much now. It's getting like, you know, at first it was like, okay, we was hearing a story after story after story. But when this story goes down all the way down to a 9-year-old and other people were involved, it's just too much. But they saying that a lot of these people who were minors at the time that were allegedly violated, they said they was lured there on the pretenses that they was going to get some music contract. I mean, I just want to put this out there. If your child is a minor and they're going in any industry, whether it's art, music, dance, modeling, there should be not a situation ever where they tell you as the adult parent or guardian that you have to step outside of the room or that your child needs to be with said producer, director, or whatever without you. when I heard this thing, my heart broke and said, why did I checked out today. Where was the 9-year-old's parents? Yeah, where were the 9-year-old parents? Where were the parents at? I'm just, not even a dental visit. You better come on, Savannah. Not a doctor visit, a dental visit, nothing. There is no reason why your child, when they're a minor, should be in the presence of another adult that is not you and not a family member, and they tell you got to leave the room. I'm not using that dentist, that doctor. I'm not going to that producer. I'm not going to that dance studio. No. What do you mean? I got to leave my minor child with you. It's very sad. I mean, imagine at 9. Yes, the Diddy situation is way over the top now. It's just too much. And by the way, this book, I didn't verify yet, but they're saying that Diddy's children are and I guess between Diddy's children and I'll be sure this book is no longer on Amazon because the family is calling it 100%. Let me ease up on my words. The family is saying that it's fake. It's interesting that the family's saying it's fake. Well, I know the family's going through a lot right now, but it's interesting that they're saying it's fake, but then there's some other thing. There's a lot of things that was in this book that it was not new information, but they're saying it's fake, and I'm double checking now to see what if it's going. Oh, you know what? Let me see. It looks like they did remove it off. Yes, they did. They did. I went back to Amazon because I can go to my previous orders. And yes, that they did remove it off of Amazon. So the family was successful in getting that book off of Amazon. Time will tell. Time will tell when it comes to the stories that was in that book, because a lot of it didn't seem so far-fetched. Okay, so supposedly he told the parents that he was taking the kid into another room. Yeah. I don't know. It's rough, right? It's rough, right? So yeah, Laura said, I hear you. The book sounded like a fan fiction to me. People do it all the time. You add a lot of lies and misinformation with some truth. I think 98% was fake. And it's funny, Lawson, I think 98% was true. And it had a little sprinkle on it. Yeah, I think 98 would, because a lot of it had stuff in there that, matter of fact, one of the things, because it talked about the Kid Cudi card. I have to go back and look through it. I just read so much stuff, but I want to say it talked about the time when Kid Cudi's car was allegedly blown up, and that's part of the charges against Diddy right now, arson. So I think there was a lot of truth in here, sprinkled with a bit of extra. I really do. And a lot of it is stuff we heard before, right? So, I mean, if the book's a lie, then a lot of things they're saying against Diddy right now is a lie. It talked about in here how he allegedly had something to do with Biggie and Tupac's unaliving. So the book didn't really have a whole lot of new information. The only thing that was different in this book than what's already on the streets now is that Diddy and Al B. Sure allegedly had a relationship. Yeah. It was a little, and you know what, that's Felicia. It was a little bit embellished. There's not one story in this book that has not already been told. They all been told before. Everybody is saying that he allegedly has something to do with Biggie and Tupac's unaliving. That was in here, right? They're saying allegedly he has something to do with Kim Porter's unaliving. That was in here. So I mean, it was nothing new in this book that hasn't already been out there on the street. So the book is 100% false. Then all the urban legends that is out there about Diddy is false, because that's all that was in this book. And like I said, the only thing that was really embellished was the part that, you know, it talked about Albie Shore and Diddy having a relationship. We know from the freak offs, you know, they say that Diddy, you know, had relations with men and women. That's in here. I mean, so it to me it was a combination of the urban legends that are out there, and then a little bit of extra stuff on it. And my thing is, if the whole thing was so fake, they would, to me, they would have no need to put X's for the people's names they didn't want to say. I analyzed that thing, and I think it's a lot of truth with a sprinkle of some other stuff. And you know, the thing that was most not liked to me by Albie Shore is the fact that they wanted to claim that Albie Shore and Diddy had relations, right? So, but anyway, I just wanted to announce that yes, they took it off of Amazon. The family saying it's lies, and I know what is very hurtful to the family, especially the kids. The kids are really, really hurt that the one of the legends out there is that Diddy did something to their mom. Can you imagine? First, one, your father's locked up. Two, your father's being accused of some very debauchery, like heinous stuff. And three, now people want to say that your father unalived your mother. That's a lot for any kid to take. It's too much. And then I saw, and it was nothing seedy and nothing out of the ordinary. If Diddy wasn't in the trouble that he was in, it would have just been a picture. But I saw a picture from one of his older white parties. In little King Combs, it was in it. He must have been about 9 at the time. So that means at some point, the kids was at some part, was probably at the better part of his white parties. So that means the kids was going to the white party since they were kids. And so at some point, I'm guessing that perhaps they didn't leave the party once they got older at a certain point. Those kids saw too much. Those kids saw too much and they grew up in too much. And I'm always praying for the kids. So we're going to talk about this Diddy and this latest case of 120 accusers, and some of them saying they was as young as 9 at the time they were violated. I don't see how Diddy and his lawyers are going to navigate this situation. And I'm talking about his situation overall. And I'll add that I'm not shocked that he added more lawyers to his team for this particular case now that the feds have against him, because his lawyer Mark seemed like he just want to, he's auditioning for a reality show. Every time I turn around, he got a mic in his face and he's talking, right? So now we're also going to talk about really quickly Kevin Hunter. You know, here's the thing. I get it. You're married to somebody. They had money. You was married to someone that was famous, had money, and you were supposed to. I had a good time, Cher. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Share my love. Yes, I did have a good time. So you were married to somebody that had some money, and now this person, you know, is not well. I'll say that they're not well, right? And listen, the money train is over. Kevin Hunter is relentless. He is still fighting in court to get money from Wendy. Now he wants his previous agreement with Wendy to be thrown out because he's claiming that she hid $43 million from him at the time the judgment was made. And now he wants that thrown out. And I guess he wants a new judgment. I mean, how greedy can you be? How greedy can you be? You know she's not well. For in all intents and purposes, it seems as if allegedly the caregiver, what is her name? The guardian stole all her money. There's no money. When is Kevin Hunter going to realize there's no more money? Let it go. And if there is money left, let the money be utilized to take care of Wendy. This woman worked her whole life. She brought herself from the ground up. She too, like apparently many others, have endured the heat of Diddy. Because you go way back when she talked about how Diddy got her fired from the radio station, how he got mad when she first tried to expose him. And now here she is today. Come on, Savannah. Kevin, get a job. And yes, Ocean Dreaming, savage behavior across the board. Savage behavior allegedly on Diddy's part. Savage behavior on Kevin Hunter's part. It's just horrible. So he's still fighting now in the courts in New Jersey to get money from Wendy. I mean, your ex-wife is not well. You did her dirty. At some point, sir, seek atonement, let it go, get a job, or get Social Security or whatever other benefits. Get the, what do you call that? Go to social services. Get your EBT card and go get yourself a studio apartment and live out the rest of your life. It's a wrap, sir. No more Ferraris, no more Porsches, no more Rolls Royce, no more just wasting Wendy Williams money. It's a wrap. The gig is up. And actually, I should have named this. That should have been the title tonight. The gig is up. Diddy, the gig is up. I highly doubt that he's going to get out on this third bail. I don't see it. I could be wrong. I don't see it. Okay, highly doubt it. Not with all of these lawsuits coming against him. I highly doubt it. He could get every lawyer in the state of New York, New Jersey, Florida, wherever, Miami, Los Angeles. I don't think that he is going to get out. The gig is up. And Kevin Hunter, you're a greedy soul. Your ex-wife is not doing well. It's called get a job. Target, Walmart, Starbucks, and the holidays are coming up. If you live by a mall, every mall is hiring now because they're gearing up for their hiring, their shopping season. This man is still wasting money on lawyers, begging for Wendy Williams money. I mean, talking about greedy and is shameful. But I said this was going to be, what did I say? An express train. Okay, I said we was going to have an express train, so I need to shut up and bring the people in the building. And I appreciate y'all for coming through. Okay, the diva was away for a couple of days and a whole lot happened while I was gone. But I'm in the building, okay? I'm in the building. I am leaving again on Sunday. Then I'll be back next Thursday again. But I'm in the building. We got stuff to talk about. I'm going to bring the people in and we're going to have us a quick little chat. Hey, Savannah.
Diva, did you say the mall Santa?
Listen, to go to the mall. He's greedy. He's greedy. I cannot with him. Okay. Yeah. So he and his baby mama mistress is broke. And I want to say Savannah, what's her darn name? I want to say she left him. Sharina. I want to say she left him. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Doe Eyes TV. Port strikes may put a hiccup in the holidays. You ain't never lied right there. We may all get to save some money. You are correct there. And my sister told me, she sent the text message. I'm bringing you up, Dustin. Give me a minute. She sent the text message telling me that the people are now hoarding the toilet paper and all of that again because of these port strikes. And I saw on the news because of those strikes that I want to say they said we're going to lose $4.5 billion. I want to say they said a week. I will double check it, just update it for y'all tomorrow in trending topics. But I could have sworn I heard $4.5 billion a week. They might as well just give the people what they want before they lose all that money. And they wanted President Biden to step in and force them not to be able to, go on strike. And he said he would not do it. But Anyway, guys, let's go ahead and get right into this story. You know what? We're going to do Kevin Hunter first because I just don't understand the greed of this man. I don't understand his sense of entitlement. And I don't understand why he won't say to himself, you know what? I got over on Wendy for over 15 years. Let me just thank God for what I had at the time I had it and leave this woman alone. But he can't seem to do that. I just don't get it. Like, it's just shocking to me that he could just be this darn greedy. So let's get into this story. So Wendy Williams' ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, demands divorce be overturned, claims she hid $48 million from him in the settlement. So Wendy Williams' ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, has demanded that their divorce be set aside as he claims that she fraudulently concealed $48 million in the settlement. The TV personality 60, who recently broke her silence on the Diddy sex trafficking investigation, tied the knot with Hunter in 1999, and their divorce was finalized in January 2020. Okay, they was married before 1999. To my understanding, I got to look at that. But anyway, Kevin's request to the court comes after Wendy's guardian Sabrina asked that Hunter pay back $112K in overpaid alimony earlier this year in April. In court documents obtained by the U.S. Sun on Wednesday, the producer asked the court to vacate and set aside their divorce based on fraud, misrepresentation, and misconduct. Wendy's filed for divorce from Hunter in 2019 while citing irreconcilable differences. And at the time, her guardian submitted a Wells Fargo portfolio that alleged her total holdings was around $7.3 million. Well, I will say this. Wendy Williams' friends did recently come out, like I'm going to say it was earlier this year, and said that she saw Wendy Williams' Wells Fargo's account and it had 55 million in it, and she was wondering who took Wendy's money. Oh, we're coming up on it now. However, the star's close friend Regina turned in an affidavit that alleged as of 2022, Williams had $55 million in her accounts. Due to the affidavit, Kevin now claims that Wendy fraudulently concealed the additional $48 million in their divorce. However, in response to Hunter's demand that the divorce be overturned, Wendy's guardian Sabrina claimed that Kevin had been aware of all of the star's accounts. I cannot address what Regina thinks she saw or heard, what a third person thinks she heard, or what that person may or may not have reported to Regina. Morrissey stated per the U.S. Sun. In his papers, Kevin affirmatively states that Wendy showed Regina her financial statements. Sabrina continued, Kevin was not there and has no personal knowledge of whatever or whether or not this interaction occurred. She also claimed that at the time of the former couple's divorce proceedings, Hunter was fully satisfied and understood the process and had consulted with professionals to be fully aware of the access and his rights with regard to such access. Sabrina then added Wendy's ex-husband had absolutely no case to reopen the divorce proceeding. Regina turned in an affidavit over the summer where she alleged she saw Wendy's Wells Fargo bank statements, according to the U.S. Sun. The TV personality best friend also claimed that in July 2022, she had resided with the star. During that time, she claimed Williams had expressed a desire to look into additional financial endeavors for her estate, as well as specifically a possible change with her current financial institution. She also shared with me documents from Wells Fargo showing a cumulative balance of nearly $55 million. Later that same year in December, Regina claimed that she had been invited to a meeting at Bank of America with Wendy. Afterwards, she headed to a courthouse in the same vehicle with the TV host and her guardian, Sabrina. However, Wendy's publicist soon alleged to overhear a conversation where Sabrina claimed there is no money in Wendy's account. Regina turned in an affidavit in regards to Williams and Hunter's divorce proceedings. Kevin also questioned whether Sabrina, a New York-based attorney, is allowed to represent Williams in New Jersey. The judge gave Sabrina 21 days to prove she has authority to represent Wendy in the state of New Jersey, per the U.S. Sun. In court documents, Hunter said Sabrina represented Williams is akin to practicing law without a license, and she is neither a barred attorney nor a guardian appointed by New Jersey court. Wendy and Kevin began dating in 1994 before saying I do in 1999. The pair welcomed their son, Kevin Jr., who is 24, in August of 2000. Despite not having any prior television experience, Hunter became his wife's manager and production partner early in their relationship, eventually helping her launch her talk show, for which she served as an executive producer. Ultimately, Williams filed for divorce after about 20 years of marriage in April 2019, citing irreconcilable differences, although it was widely known that Hunter had been involved in various cheating scandals. The divorce was finalized in January 2020, which was just 2 months before COVID-19 was deemed a pandemic. Earlier this year in April, Wendy's ex-husband to return alimony money that she believes he was overpaid. According to the lawsuit in the court of New Jersey, they wanted back $112,000. He is saying no, and he is also saying that his payments that Wendy was supposed to pay him was stopped prematurely, and he wants his money. So he's currently now fighting back. I'm not going to continue through all of this. He's fighting back, and he also wants to say that that divorce decree that they initially signed, it is no good because Wendy was hiding about $48 million. Tony, your thoughts?
Yes, Diva. Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, Kevin is receiving what is called hearsay, secondary, third-party information.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe a judge is going to grant Wendy or require Wendy to hand over records based on what he says. Now, Regina Shell files an affidavit claiming to have seen the actual bank statements. Now, with that being said, a judge could grant or could order Kevin wish to get the bank records, but he would have to know where the bank records are located, because I thought all of Wendy's bank records had already been submitted to the court the first time around. So we're going now what they call the second bite of the apple.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense because Wendy had to divulge her financial statements during the divorce proceeding. So a judge could order the bank to hand over, again, Wendy's current financial statements to show there's $48 million there.
Well, Sabrina is saying there's no money, right? So this thing is loaded. So it's loaded because Wendy is now have some conditions going on, right? That deems she needs a guardian. But before she got this guardian, she was getting a divorce she got her divorce from Kevin. So see, that's why lies never work, right? So if I lied so that I wouldn't have to pay my ex-husband that much money, then let's just say she did lie, right? And say she only had $7 million in change, and they based giving Kevin his alimony or whatever he got off of that $7 million. Well, then how later on can you tell somebody that the guardian stole $55 million from her, the $55 million that she never had? You see, so that's why lies don't ever work. But I do believe I don't know what paperwork they turned over, which Kevin could prove, right? And he's claiming that he was told that there was only $7 million in change in the bucket when they was getting divorced. That's his complaint now. right? And he's
Mhm.
saying once he heard the best friend Regina saying she saw paperwork that showed Wendy had $55 million in her Wells Fargo account. So Kevin is saying, I only knew about 7. That's where he's getting the difference of 48 million from. So he's saying that, she lied about, she hid $48 million. So I was supposed to get more money. That's his complaint.
That would be true if that were true.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin would be in the right.
Mm-hmm.
However, Kevin is going to have to produce or ask the court for Wendy to hand over, meaning to produce the bank records and any other records showing where Wendy's money is currently being held.
He's been fighting for that. He's been fighting for that. And he claims they're not giving him over those documents. He has been fighting for that.
Does he know the documents?
Say that again. Yeah, he's saying the Wells Fargo. See, the problem, this thing is so loaded, right? So let me add this to it. I don't even have money like that, but all of my money is not in no one account. So it's shocking to me that she had all her money tied up in Wells Fargo. But that's a whole nother story for another day. But the other situation is he just simply needs, and he has been requesting it from them, and they won't give it up. But I'm thinking the guardian Sabrina is not giving it up because somebody stole Wendy's money. And we just got to figure out who stole it, but somebody stole her money, right? So they need the documents. They need, I would say, you need a good 10 years of her bank account, right? So
Correct.
that way you can see what was there, when it left, how it left. You can track it all and then see for Kevin's part, all he needs to prove is when that divorce happened in 2020, if $55 million was sitting there, then he got his point, right?
Correct.
If it wasn't, if it was just 7 point whatever, then he don't have a point. But I'm leaning towards it was $55 million there. The men do it all the time when they divorce a woman. They don't want to pay them. They, money go here. They hide money. They only giving this. We can't say Wendy didn't do it. I mean, I wouldn't blame her because I felt like he robbed her blind while they was married. But she was a participant in it.
True. All right. Well, I would need to see the other institutions where this money is allegedly being held. So he would have to put in a motion requesting all these other institutions, and the judge would have to grant it. And then we will see. If he can't produce the additional institutions where the 55 million or 48 million is being held, then his case is going to get tossed. But if he can prove that that Wendy had money in other institutions and did not disclose,
but you know what though, Tony, he's not claiming no other institution. He's claiming just Wells Fargo, and he's going. His only proof right at this moment is her best friend Regina saying she saw the document and she saw $55 million was in the account.
I'm not buying. Well, I believe you, Diva. I'm not believing Kevin's side then, because I do recall Wells Fargo had to turn over all of Wendy's financial statements prior to the divorce being concluded. So those records were already turned over. So if you're only banking on the one institution, meaning Wells Fargo Bank, then what was there once, I can't see you going from 7 million to suddenly, boom, here's 55 million, because then Wells Fargo would have committed fraud by not handing over everything. So I have a feeling when they go down this road again, Wells Fargo is going to show this was in the account. This is what's when you divorce. This is what's there now. And I do believe there will be a deficit, a big deficit, unexplained. That's what I predict. But I don't believe suddenly 48 million is going to show up. Kevin's case is going to get tossed yet again. He represents to me the negative stereotype. I mean, almost like the nightmare negative stereotype of Black men who leech off of women, but his case is very extreme. And it's
He's
not a,
definitely the extreme. He's definitely the extreme. He's messy.
he's messy. He's high end range narcissism. You name it. He's lazy. Doesn't want to work. Sharina Hudson showed her true colors when she left him, and she applied for a court order for child support. Ironically enough, so he's getting karma. What comes around goes around. Karma will catch you in the end. I have a feeling Kevin, who has already lost just about everything he's ever touched with any value, is going to find himself working, I don't know, at a McDonald's, you name it, it serves him right. I don't feel sorry for this man. I hope he hits rock bottom.
Thank you, Tony. Leo, your thoughts?
Oh my God, DVD Express train. I almost lost my dreadlocks jumping into the train. The door caught my hair. I almost got snatched out. Okay, so this thing here with Kevin, the Kelvin or whoever he is, he need to come up with a new Ponzi scheme, a new scheme. Dude, go figure out a way to earn you some income. The 7 million thing that he's saying that went on with the divorce decree, I would need to see the paperwork for that, because honestly and truthfully, for years and years, it was on Google, just straight Google, that Wendy was worth $60 million years before they even got divorced. So what is he talking about during the divorce? I've never heard Wendy Williams was worth only $7 million. I think that's a bold-faced lie. That's what he put in to be able to initiate court proceedings in Jersey, where he would not have to deal with the guardian to get more money from Wendy's estates. He do need to get a job. He playing in everybody's face. He wasting court proceeding time. The dude needs to get a job. Real estate. Sell Herbalife. Be a salesperson. Do banker's life. Sell insurance. I mean, he is that person that does a lot of talking. So he do need to get a job where he can sell something from running his mouth. Because at the end of the day, he's still going to have to provide for his family, his baby girl, his child support, whatever. He's still going to have to pay them bills, and running behind trying to get Wendy's money is not going to happen. Wendy not in control of her own money.
She sure is not.
So the manipulation ploy with the courts is gonna run out. Man, get you a job.
Come on now. And soon.
Immediately.
Shoot, you said right now. Come on, Walmart greeter. We don't care what you do, but get you a job and get off of Wendy's back. Savannah, your thoughts? Savannah, are you there? Okay, we lost Savannah. I don't hear her. Okay, Katrina, your thoughts? Can y'all hear me? Can you still hear me, Leo?
I hear you. Coming through clear.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay, go ahead, Katrina.
Hey, y'all. I'm glad to see you back, Diva. Did you win any good money?
I don't gamble, but I'll have a good time.
Girl, I'm in a casino hotel room right now. I'm just frustrated. But anyway, that man is ridiculous. Well, the thing I can say is, you ran Wendy Williams' show as good as she had it when he was there. Everything was organized. Everything was in place. He made sure she got to work. Maybe you should be a usher driver or something. Maybe getting people to work on time, making sure they get there. Because you made sure Wendy was making the money for you. So you need to be making the money for yourself. You tried to do a claim saying that the rain caused your car messed up. Your car was messed. You tried to get insurance claim off of that. He claimed that he's disabled because he got a sore hip or whatever. We see plenty of people on the side of the road with sore hips and still be working. So the thing of it is, I want him to find out what Wendy Money is because Wendy Money shouldn't be missing. But I don't think it should go to him and Sharina Baby. That's just too much. You taking too much. You doing too much. I mean, you want your ex-wife, the one that elevated you, to pay for your side chick that you married and had a baby by, and you want her to take care of that baby. Man, get a job. Just get a job. I mean, that's more sadder than anything I could ever come across. When I came across a lot of sad things, that's ridiculous. And he don't deserve nothing else from that lady. You done put that lady through so much. You know what she was going through. You know the time that she had in her life. You was there, but you wasn't there. You was making sure she was medicated so you can go out and do what you was doing in the streets. No, he don't deserve nothing else from Wendy. That's all I got, Diva.
I
Get a
appreciate
job,
it.
man.
Get a job. That's what we're gonna tell them. Savannah, your thoughts?
This has to be the poster child for um pathetic. Like I really hope that she did have that hidden somewhere. Because I'm
Oh,
sorry, Diva, can you hear me?
no, we cannot.
Oh my God. I am in a building with bad connection. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, I apologize.
No problem.
This man right here, I hope I really hope Wendy did was smart enough to hide her money, and she always did drop clues during her talks on the show that she would do something like hide money. And I've been watching a lot of her reruns lately, and I do miss her energy. And if we ever needed someone right now in
Mm,
these social media streets, oh my goodness, Wendy.
mm-hmm.
I wish you a healthy recovery because we need you. But this man is just absolutely pathetic. I don't understand what his purpose is to try to get blood out of a stone here, knowing that Wendy's money's tied up. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't start finessing Sabrina and trying to, So let's see next year those two will be dating or Kevin. All that talk that he made Wendy, he was this high roller profile manager, and look at you now. It's been well over 3 or 4 years since the divorce, and you still struggling. So I have absolutely no sympathy for this poor excuse of a man, poor excuse of a man still trying to get something out of a woman who's trying to, that you destroyed mentally, physically, financially, and we miss her, and her son needs her. So I hope she's protected, loved, and covered in blessings. But Kevin, go somewhere.
Go somewhere and sit down. Thank you, Savannah. Wayne, your thoughts?
Yeah, Diva, pass me on this one because I got here late.
Okay, no problem.
All right.
So we're gonna run into my last story because I did say I want to do like a little express train tonight. And while I was away, I saw part of that press conference with the latest lawyer that has victims that are accusing Sean Combs of some very heinous things, similar to the stories that we have been hearing. Me hearing something about a horse tranquilizer and all of this stuff, it's this thing is just getting worse and worse and worse by the minute. This particular story, the reason that it just had me just like saying, I just can't even imagine or believe this when the youngest victim is allegedly 9 years old. And I'm just like, and then this victim, well, let me say this, and these victims, they're saying there's other high profile people that this lawyer said he's going to name, just have not said the names yet because they want to vet everything out. And I'm just saying to myself, like, I'm just incredibly shocked. But the thing that I appreciate about this lawyer from Texas is the fact that this particular lawyer is willing to go after the other individuals. He said, I don't care if you watched, I don't care if you, whatever part you played in this situation, this lawyer wants you to go down too. And that's what I'm talking about. Everybody should pay for what they did. Unlike those people when it came to the R. Kelly story, I never heard of any of the other individuals being brought to justice. And I feel like all of them should have been brought to justice also. So, I'm appreciating this particular lawyer for saying that, eventually these other names are going to come out. They said we're going to be shocked. I don't know if we're going to be that shocked because we've been hearing some rumors about some names. And I'm not going to, throw those names out. I'm sure you all know the names that are being rumored. And maybe they will bring shock value when we actually hear it being confirmed, right? So Diddy allegedly abused a 9-year-old boy, accuser attorney claims. So one of Diddy's attorneys, Erica, tells TMZ, as for Mr. Combs' legal team has emphasized, he cannot address every meritless allegation in what has become a reckless media circus. That said, Mr. Combs empathetically and categorically denies as false and defamatory any claim that he SA'd anyone, including minors. He looks forward to proving his innocence and vindicating himself in court, where the truth will be established based on evidence, not speculation. Diddy is about to be hit with lawsuits for SA and abuse, and a Houston-based law firm representing 120 accusers is telling some of their stories for the first time, including allegations Diddy SA'd a 9-year-old boy. Attorney Tony Busby says a wave of lawsuits will be filed against Diddy in the next 30 days, including from an accuser who claimed he was only 9 years old when Diddy and others. Can you imagine how sick you gotta be? Diddy and others SA'd him at Bad Boy Record Studio in New York City. Busby claims Diddy lured the 9-year-old to an audition with the promise of a record deal and then allegedly SA'd him. In addition, Busby claims his law firm will be filing suit on behalf of other accusers who claim they were minors when Diddy abused them, including another who says Diddy forced them to perform oral. Busby says other accusers were 15 years old when they were flown out to New York to attend a party where they were given substances and taken into a private room with Diddy, where he allegedly argued her before others took turns having their way with her. At a big time attorney who has sued a bunch of celebs, including Travis Scott and Chris Brown, Busby claims his clients were R'd, SA'd, and exploited by Diddy and his associates. And he says they were typically forced to consume a drink that was laced with a tranquilizer known that is given to horses. As we reported, Busby's law firm announced Friday they will be repping more than 50 alleged victims who came forward with gut-wrenching stories about what went down at Diddy's alleged freak-off parties. Busby describes the mind-boggling allegations as debauchery and depravity and exacted by powerful people. And now he says there are 120 accusers who will be filing individual lawsuits against Diddy and others. It sounds like a massive issue. Busby strongly hinted other celebrities would be named in the lawsuits. And he said he would be suing anyone who was involved or knew about the alleged abuse and refused to put an end to things. Busby says the alleged abuse happened in well-known venues, in hotels, as well as private residences, mostly in Los Angeles and New York. He said the lawsuits will include names that will shock you. It should be noted Busby has not yet filed a single case in any jurisdiction. Meanwhile, Diddy is facing a mountain of other lawsuits, sitting in jail as he awaits trial following his arrest and federal indictment. Diddy pled not guilty to charges of ST, kidnapping, racketeering, and a federal case. Mark, Diddy's attorney, is fighting hard for Bad Boy Records founder, claiming the feds are is just coming after him because he's a successful black man. Sounds like the federal indictment and the already filed lawsuits are just the tip of the iceberg. Like I said, what is breaking my heart, we've been hearing about minors for a while, but it was no mention of them in any lawsuit to date. But now this lawyer is claiming that there are individuals that he's in contact with. They each going to file their own lawsuit. And one was as young as 9 when a said situation happened to them. This is sad. Tony, your thoughts?
Yes, Diva. As I had told you the first time we met, and I keep saying it even when I go to your channel and write a comment, more charges are coming.
You did say that.
Diva, I did not expect 120.
I don't think anybody could have. This is beyond. This has got to be a record. I've never heard of such thing. This has got to be a record in the worst way. 120. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he said there was 3,000 and change people that came to him, but when they finished vetting everything out, they came down to this 120. If I'm not mistaken, it was this lawyer that said that. This is crazy.
Yes, Diva, it's beyond. And I did not imagine this. And then when I heard and I read today about the, I'm going to say, alleged 9-year-old boy, my heart broke.
Yeah.
My heart really, really broke. One, Sean is going to have to win in criminal court. But now he's also, because if he loses these civil lawsuits, and these are just civil lawsuits, and he loses in criminal court, which I predict he will, not only will he face the court of justice, but he's also going to face the penitentiary of justice. So this is not looking good. This has gone from bad to hell.
Yeah.
This
literally
overnight.
Yeah.
I am more, and I'm just gonna, I said once before, I don't like to get ahead of myself. But I always have said, if something looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, you're dealing with a duck, you're dealing with a very, very sick man. And I don't need to put a name on it for people to understand what I'm trying to say here. This is beyond what any of us for 30 plus years could have seen, could foreshadow. Every time we saw Sean, yeah, he was a showman. He was showing off. You know, he's putting on a show. He wasn't a good rapper per se, but he had like a stage presence to him. And we bought his music. Okay. From all the artists he, created, promoted, elevated. And don't get me wrong, the music was good. But at the end of the day, I feel so sickened that I no longer have, I got rid of a lot of the artists that I like because he produced them. And it's a shame that it reflects badly on the artist who has nothing to do with this.
So I think we're going to have that discussion about the music another day. We really do. It's unfair to the artists it's unfair to, as long as the artists were not involved in these said situations, it's unfair to the artists that they go down with Diddy, right?
Sure.
But but we got to talk about that on another day. right? Because that's another subject in and of itself. And yes, I mean, when Bad Boy was it, that's my time period. Puffy, Sean Combs, Brother Love, whichever you want to call him, he's 54. He's my age. He's my time, right?
Yes.
So yeah, jam into his stuff, and he was what was up. And to learn that this man is allegedly this sick, it is I we heard a lot of stories about people violating children, and just violating people in general.
Yeah.
This has got to be one of the sickest situations, if all of this alleged stuff is true. I do believe where there's smoke, there's fire. That's all I'll say that right now, so I can get around to the other people. So go ahead and finish your thoughts, Tony. But I do believe where there's smoke, there's fire.
Yes, I agree with you, Diva. And I mean, it's sad, two of the biggest moguls, Suge Knight and, Sean Combs, who back in the day wrote the songbook, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes, I do.
They wrote the songbook for a whole generation.
Mm-hmm.
All right. They are the pioneers. Well, one of the, I won't say the pioneers, but they are the pioneers who put hip hop, they elevated it to the mainstream and then internationally. And this is how what started off as a good legacy sours.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad to see this. And my last thought is I predict more to come. Believe it or not, you haven't seen the last of it.
Right.
The charges in the federal indictment, I expect superseding indictments where you go back to day one all over again. New arraignment, new bail hearings. Sean is not going to have his early speedy trial come March of next year. I think it was supposed to be March in 2025. His attorney kept angling for a trial, but something tells me more is coming down the pipes because a lot of those people, I believe, in the current lawsuit have already spoken to the U.S. attorney. So at some point, I expect criminal charges to come from some of these alleged victims in the civil lawsuit.
The one where I believe the criminal charges can come from are the victims that were minors at the time of their said situation, right? Because I don't, when you violate a minor, it's no statute of limitations. Am I correct on that? I don't.
Yes, you are correct. And that's why I didn't want to say anything because I didn't know how to word it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's where the smoking, pow is, so to speak, in this situation. This is just ugly. Leo, your thoughts?
You already know, Diva. I am so taken over by the debauchery and the filth of Sean Combs. I am just so overwhelmed. And then to hear about this alleged 9-year-old that may have been violated as well, I am just it's way too much for me to take in. It's way too much for me to process. I can't the levels in which people in the industry and the enablers, because he was violated by others, allegedly.
Right. Come on, you talking.
Where they do that at? Like,
Woo.
what's going on here? I can't.
Mhm.
The level of evil that circulated around this man it's just way too much for me to process in my spirit. Like deep down in my spirit, I can't process it. It's too much. And yes, we all knew for 30 years. Me, Tony, and you, we rocked in that era. We knew the type of things that went on with the ladies. Like we understood it. Like with the ladies, right?
Right.
Like ladies. That's what we understood it. And adult age women that was going on with it. It might have been some a lot of aggression and anger and violence that went on. We knew this. Can't stop, won't stop. That's what we knew.
Right.
Take that. We knew that. We heard of it allegedly. Well, we talking about the babies.
Woo.
I cannot with this man. I cannot. It was shocking, but it was not surprising. And I'm with Tony. I also said, what about the people that came in one time and they were violated? Like if you get a drink when you come into the set and you nervous, we thinking we getting ready to do our thing as S workers. You get a drink and you wake up 2 days later and you whole violated. So those stories are going to be told too. And I don't even know if my ears and my eyes can even deal with a trial diva. I probably won't be on the train for that because I don't even know if I can even deal with that. And I think a little bit of that, my apprehension and not wanting to deal with it because I was so involved in the music. The music that he produced, the artists that he elevated, it was my time. And to hear about all the debauchery and all the other celebrities and all the faves that was involved in this, and it will be a lot of them, and I probably will clutch my pearls when I hear the names and all the music that I celebrated, right? It's going to attack my whole young adulthood. It's going to destroy the image and the feeling that I got from all the music when I hear the background stories of all the violence that went on behind the scenes. And I'm just emotionally just not prepared for it. I'm just not prepared for it. I just don't want to have to hear all the early phase of the 90s when the music was hot in the 90s. The music was hot. R&B, hip hop, the music was hot in the 90s. And he is a third of the music that was hot in the 90s. And to hear all the debauchery that has been going on behind the scenes, all the violations, all the money that transpired, all the things, children, it's just too much. And you have to evaluate it, in my opinion, against all the others that have been caught doing their thing. It's Bill Cosby. It's Harvey Weinstein. It's R. Kelly. It wasn't a whole circle. It was enablers, but they weren't big names of people who put out music. It wasn't big names of people that put out movies when it come to Harvey Weinstein. He had a casting couch. You know, R. Kelly basically lured people in for a promise of a record deal. P. Diddy, Sean Combs did all the things. was movies, it was record deals, it was S workers, it was, he did the whole gamut from state to state, Florida, California, New York. He was doing international debauchery.
It's a lot. And
it's a lot.
I think all of us are going to be overwhelmed by that trial because a lot of stuff is going to come out. The thing with this here is where the waters are going to get muddied, and this is why I can't call this thing yet. You have some individuals that are putting 20 on 10. That one, Andrina English, her lawyer doesn't want to deal with her anymore. So, and so the problem, the problem that's going to arise is you have these people that they was down for the get down, but now they want to rewrite history and call themselves a victim. And I'm not saying that is for everyone, because when we have these conversations, we got to be adults and level up. This Andrina English, her lawyer wants to drop her for a reason. This girl said she was a S worker, right? You're an S worker, but she said Diddy did this, he forced her, he this, he that, the other. All of them do not have Cassie's story. If I met you on Monday and you tried to give me a spiked drink Monday night, I'm not coming back Tuesday. If I survived and got my butt out of there on Monday, I'm not coming back Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I'm good. And after one night, you can't claim Stockholm Syndrome. After one night, you can't claim you was being forced and called and all of that. And all of those times you kept coming back and getting paid for said party. But then you want to rewrite the story and say you was passed around. Usually when you are an S worker, but I'm going to leave it there. I'm just going to stop and say that her lawyer wants to drop her now. You're going to get individuals who want to rewrite their story. But the problem is, if all of us on this panel was at a party and Diva wants to rewrite her portion of the story, it ain't going to add up when Leo goes to tell her story. It's not going to add up when Tony goes to tell her part of the story. And so if you got these people muddying the waters by trying to rewrite history, that's going to give some reasonable doubt and it's going to muck this thing up. But I believe that these kids that were the kids that were the adults that were kids at the time, I'm praying to God that is what's going to end up sinking the ship, because this is too much. When you want to violate a kid, it's just too darn much. Go ahead, Leo.
But Diva, I don't think that the federal case will focus on those who came back for more. I don't think that it will be totally focused on that.
That's where they're trying to do the ST at. That's where they're trying to get the ST at, right? So the ST is these people that are claiming that they flew from New Jersey to Miami or this to that. These people, so ST is so easy. And I'm working with Felicia because we're going to break this thing down. ST is very easy to label something ST, because if I travel from here to here and I claim I was forced to travel from here to here, then there's your ST, right? So they need some of those individuals because that's where they're bringing in the ST at. But they're also, because right now, the charges in the 14 pages is focusing on one victim, and that's Cassie. And Cassie is saying she was flown from here to there and had to participate in these FOs. I don't want to get too deep in it, but with this Andrea English is not just her. I just used her name, and the only reason why I use her name now is because her own lawyer wants to drop her. But there are individuals, because there are some of the sex workers that are claiming some of these things. And all I'm saying is that even if I'm an S worker, if I was an S worker that went to party number 1 and that thing was too much for me, I'm not going to be an S worker for party number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I feel like some of these individuals, they was good when the good was going and they was collecting their money. And now they want to rewrite history and claim XYZ, because some of these S workers, they got profit deals. And my thing is, how many people are you going to give a deal? That's why I like this Texas lawyer. He said, I want all of them to go down. He said, I want it, if you watched it, if you participated, if you this, if you that, I want all of y'all to go down. And that's what I want. I want all of them to go down. Don't give nobody else another deal. You gave enough people deals. Lock these people up for watching it go down for years, especially if they was watching this thing happen to minors. And I'm not discounting what happened to an adult, but if you watch this go down on minors, shame on you, and you need to be in that jail with Diddy. Go ahead, Leo.
And I'm not discounting that. The only thing I'm adding on is the same things could have happened to people who just showed up and they were blacked out and they ended up at one place that they did not decide that they were going to be there.
I agree with you.
So 100%. yeah, I'm not discounting that.
Yeah.
And because the filing paperwork for all the charges that he will be charged with have not been shown, we just don't know exactly what things are going to be in the filing charges. And all federal prosecute, not all, I take that back, strike that from the record. A lot of times when they doing these federal charges, they do ask for people to come forward. Even with Eric Adams, they ask for people to come forward. Well, Harvey Weinstein, they asked people to come forward. Even with Bill Cosby, they asked people to come forward. Even with R. Kelly, they asked people to come forward. That's not a new occurrence. They pad their prosecution with people coming forward after people have been arrested, because people are no longer afraid where they were before. Because if you are an S worker and you went through something totally traumatic and you don't feel comfortable, because I'm a woman and I know a lot of women that have been violated that have never filed a police report. Never. So it is a possibility that people have been violated, but they feel like they are so low value in society. They don't feel like they don't deserve to come forward and say they have been violated. And maybe some of this will open up an opportunity for them to come forth and tell their story, where they will not be ridiculed and called liars and after people's money if they come forward with their story.
100%.
I'm done.
Yeah, 100%. And I want to hear from everybody. But the one who kept setting up party after party as an S worker and been at 50 of them, Savannah, you up?
I think there was only one word for this person, and that is monster. Absolute monster. I don't think any of us were prepared to hear that a child was
9.
Violated in the way that he was violated. I've always known that there were underage accusations of underage, because that's never been that's always been the word on the street in South Florida. but not a child, not a baby. And that literally broke my heart for what that young man has had to live with for all these years, going somewhere with a promise and a dream and then being violated. That there's no way to, I don't think we will ever see Sean Combs again, honestly. I'm ready to hear the lawyer's list. I know he has a list and he's checking it twice. And I just think this thing's so huge. And I don't think we're prepared to hear some of the things. And there are willing participants, but it's the ones that were given drinks and passed around and woke up 2, 3 days later, bruised and confused and dumped like they're insignificant. There's just one word and it's monster. I was disgusted yesterday because I don't think any of us were prepared to hear that.
Not
And
enough.
that's all I have.
Yeah, I appreciate you, Savannah. Yeah, I mean, uh, Usher was around him at the age of 14, 15. Justin Bieber, I think, was like the 15 range. I think in my mind, although I never discounted those rumors, and I don't to this day, you when you think 14, 15, that's young. And this is not out of Diva mouth, out of Gene Dill's mouth. He tells a story about Usher and something happened in the Usher in around Diddy and Usher mother knowing. Okay, this is on YouTube. You could Google it. So this ain't Diva telling you this. Okay, this is out of Gene Dill's mouth. And it often, I don't know if I got desensitized to it because I heard about this rumor so much between Usher and Diddy. And you think how young Usher was at the time, but to think 9. But if you really think about it, someone that would do that to anyone underage, they probably have no age limit. But again, the very, very sad part is that many people knew. But it's heart-wrenching as this may sound, and it's a hard conversation to have. Above all, allegedly, Usher's own mother knew. It's stuff that we have to have a conversation and talk about, because when we're quiet, and I'm just talking in general right now, when we're quiet, that's how the monster gets to live on and grow. So Usher is how old now? Is he in his 40s? I think Usher is in his 40s, right? So you figure if it's happened in his 15, at best you're talking, let's even give it 20 years ago. He's 45. Thank you, Julius. He's 45. And so what if I do 15 minus 45, what is that, 30 years? So just imagine if 30 years ago the mother said something. Maybe how many people could have been spared. Not trying to shame the mother. I'm not trying to do any of that. We're just talking right now. And hopefully we're talking where someone out there right now that is perhaps being violated by someone that is not even a Diddy. Don't have to be anybody famous. just if they get the bravery or the courage, I don't want to say, you understand what I'm trying to say, just say something, maybe we can save a whole lot of other people from being, victimized by a monster. There's a lot of monsters out there. Diddy's not the only one, because if the young individual that was young at the time, it was Diddy and associates, but there's many people. This the one that was 17 at the time when she said something happened to her in that P Diddy studio or whatever. She names other people. It wasn't just Diddy. These people took turns. It was many people that known. And like somebody said before, nobody heard a scream, nobody heard nothing. I think, like you said, Leo, none of us can be prepared for this trial. None of us will be prepared for it. Because I think some major stuff happened now. Well, major changes, I said that 1,000 times too. But see, you know what everybody want to say? Everybody want to say, we knew when to leave the party. So even if you knew when to leave the party and you knew that level of stuff was going on, you knew when to leave the party. I'm not going to anybody's party when I know that their after party is that level of illegal activity. If I was at one and I find out later, and even it's a rumor for me, I'm good. Katrina, your thoughts? Because I said I was doing an express train. I got to hurry up here. Katrina, your thoughts?
Girl, you installed us up in the mountains.
I'm sorry.
Oh my God, this man is a sadist. He's a ritual person. This man is crazy. This man is not a walker. That's not a human. That's a demon. I never trusted him anyway. Any man can't close his mouth completely. I would never trust. And the thing about it, we living off his music. That's not his music. That's music he stole from other people. Yeah, he was the one. He's the face of it. But you stole from Mace. Mace was the writer. You stole from Biggie. You stole from what's his name? Black Rob. You said that Craig Mack was too ugly, but you still use his music. You took from Total. You took from all these people. Yeah, you elevated off of other people's work. That's what their work. But you was out there dancing, doing them crazy dances in front of the done cameras while these people doing this work. You still making money off of Biggie. This man is crazy. He's an imbecile. I never liked Puffy. I never liked him even when he was a backup dancer for Dougie Fresh. I never liked this man. This man has always been a crook. And your daddy was a snitch, so you a snitch. You gonna snitch, but you still not gonna get out. And then for you to mutilate and do this with kids, this is a ritual stuff that they're doing. Because nobody in their right mind, no person in their right mind, this child haven't even reached puberty yet, and you taking away the innocence. Do you honestly think that God was going to let you get away with it? You honestly think that you was going to walk this earth and you think that God wasn't going to punish you? You thought you was getting away. But see, God look out for kids and fools. And see, you're not even a fool. You a dummy. I can't even give you the fool. I can't even give you the fool thing. You're a total dummy. You're a dummy. You thought you was getting away with everything because of the stuff that you was doing and the blackmail that you were using these people in, and all of them. I know what you're saying, Diva. That the ones that kept coming back. No, that's a whole different situation. But when you got these kids, 15-year-olds, and who kids is these? Where these kids coming from? Where you getting these kids from? And who allowing these kids to come out there? Where the kids? Where the parents? I know people have been the M word. That happened. I know somebody close to that it happens to. I'm just gonna keep, whatever. But I'm just saying, your parents can be there and not know. But to know that your child is flying from state to state, where's the parents? Where's the parents of these kids? That's what I want to know. Where the parents at? And who in their right mind? You can't be in your right mind if you taking advantage of a child. That's a whole different scenario. Now the ones that kept coming to the parties, beyond me. That's what you want to do. I can see you as a consenting adult or whatsoever. Your consension left when you didn't know you was getting the substances in there. That's a whole different scenario. But the ones that keep coming, keep coming, keep coming, and the things that you did to these people, telling them that they gonna get record deals and this, or I can blackball you from the industry and all this type of stuff. Man, you is a leech. You're not even a person. Your soul is gone. Your soul been gone. You don't even have a soul. Can't nobody with a person like that, he don't even have a soul. His soul is gone. He's a demon. He's a walking demon. And whatever happened to him in that jail need to happen to him in that jail. Because you think about those kids, how they feel. These kids probably can't even, there's no telling what happened to these children. You don't know if they end up on substances. You don't know if they commit the S. You don't know what happened to these kids while you was in there violating them. And along with the other people that were violating them as well. All of them need to be hanged. And I'm not a KKK, but all of them need to be
Come on,
hanged.
Katrina. Come on, Katrina.
I'm
Calm
sorry,
down.
sorry about that. I'm just sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just pissed because it doesn't make any sense, man. You messing with children. You don't mess with kids. You got all these people around. I'm sorry about the H word, D. I'm sorry, so sorry about that. But you got all these grown-up people around that you have to mess with a child, even if you were violated. That still was no reason for you to mess with a child. You wasn't violated when you was younger, I don't think. Maybe when you got older and you got into the music industry, I can understand, I can see that. But you wasn't violated when you was a child. And you violate these kids, just taking their innocence away. That's sick. That's just ridiculous. I'm done because I'm getting pissed. I'm done. I'm done.
Thank you. So A and B, people are repeating that, but I'm originally from New York. I don't remember. I keep asking people, what's the name of the Catholic school everybody's alleging he went to, and alleging that he got violated while he was at this Catholic school. Somebody got to tell me the Catholic school, because I'm originally from New York. And I told you, I'm 54. Diddy's 54. And I know people from, I got family from Mount Vernon. I have family in Harlem. I want to know this Catholic school because everybody keeps running that. Listen, here's the thing. Unfortunately, there are a lot of times where when people it was in which documentary? You got to tell me which documentary. I thought I saw them all, but I didn't. That don't mean I did. Not the Tubi one. They said the school on Hulu. I'll look and see. So, and they said on the Hulu documentary that was confirmed. Thank you, Tony. Mount St. Michael Academy, all boys Catholic school in Bronx, New York, 1987. All right, I'm gonna look into that. Thank you, Tony. So I want to say this. Let me move the Wayne because I said it's express train. Go ahead, Wayne.
Maya Angelou said it best. When somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
Yeah.
And all the things we've heard online, we talked about, is allegedly because we don't know.
Right.
But when we saw that video of how he abused Cassie, he didn't just hit her. I mean, he kicked her like a dog.
Right.
When somebody can treat another person like that, it doesn't put anything past me what else they'll do.
Right.
Other thing, too, all these people he supplied these parties, all these sex workers, first of all, I think a lot of these workers, first of all, if you're a sex worker, that's actually a job for you. And if you went to a party, you should have had a contract with what agency you was with, or if you represent your own self, what you will do or what you won't do. Because now it's your word against his. Because you got paid to perform. So it's going to be your word against his. So all these SA workers he had coming in. And the other thing, too, I think it's going to be more children coming up. They may not, I don't know, because I think a lot of these these people when he brought these workers in, because I saw on TV somebody was saying, like in the neighborhood or part of that, yeah, Diddy, those buses be rolling up 3 a.m. in the morning, you know. And I can only think that there are people, that, for lack of words, like people have come to this country, you know, and hey, this is fast money, you know. They could be here legally or whatever, but it's a fast way of getting money. And then if they live in 3, 4, 5, 6 to a house and got children, and you bring your children along, and that's another $1,000 and so forth and so on and so on. So a lot of these people, I don't think they'll even have names for, because they're not going to, it was wrong, but they're not going to say nothing. You know, so, and I do believe, like you said, some of these people, if you were a worker and something was done to you the first time, and you came back for the party again as a worker, it's going to be hard to kind of prove that you're a victim. With Diddy, and now that it's come out that he assaulted, you know, underage child, this is pathetic. It's unforgivable. And all the things after seeing that video and saw what you were capable of, I think you're capable of anything. And like you said, Diva, I don't think age matter. When you're up there like that, I'm quite sure he's rubbing elbows with the billionaires, billionaire deviants, millionaire deviants. People have all kind of desires and things like that. And y'all come into all on one accord. And everybody's putting there, oh, okay, that's good. Oh, well, we'll do this, you know. So you're just rubbing elbows with the same kind of people. And a whole lot of people, other than Diddy, got their hands in this pot. And blood is dripping from them. That's it.
Blood is dripping from them. I will say this too, Wayne. That video with Cassie came out when? Did it come out March of this year? Or did it come out last year?
Not sure.
March of this year.
It was this year.
Okay, so it came out March of this year. But she sued him. What was it? It was November of 2023, right?
Yes.
So check this out. There allegedly were FO parties in 2024. If after Cassie's lawsuit and everything that was alleged in that lawsuit, and you attended a FO in 2024, forgive me, but I don't want to hear from you. If you attended a FO party in 2024, I don't want to hear from you. If you attended anything after Cassie's lawsuit was made public, I do not want to hear from you. Who attends a FO in 2024 knowing everything this man was accused of? If you are okay as a female after that video came out in March of 2024 and you were still messing with that man like that, I clearly don't want to hear from you, because that at that point, it was no more alleged rumors. There was some facts. He don't mind putting his hands on the people. Even though you heard before, because listen, there were some of these alleged attacks that was clear. It was in the public eye. When he put the kettlebell to the coaches at UCLA had, that wasn't hidden. That was public information. There's some things he did that was public information. But I heard that there were FO parties in 2024. If you attended in 2024, you can miss me with the nonsense. Because at that point, you already heard that allegedly he spikes the drinks. Allegedly, he films this stuff. Allegedly, this, that happened. He did think he was untouchable, but you know what, Ocean Dreaming? He thought that rightfully so. And he thought that rightfully so because before that point, he was getting away with a whole lot of stuff. The man never did time with the kettlebell against that that coach at UCLA. I think he did a day or something of community service, and he called it a misunderstanding. But listen, y'all, I'm overtime. We'll be here tomorrow for trending topics. This is sad. I don't know. I mean, because this is what I do. You know, I'm going to go through this trial. I don't know how many more of these lawsuits I want to read, and I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get through the one with the 9-year-old. Well, 9 at the time. Because it is a lot. But I want to thank y'all for being here. If you didn't hit the like button on the way in, hit the like button on the way out. I appreciate y'all. Good night and goodbye, everybody.
Good night, Diva.